The upcoming generation of Apple TV 4K is shaping up to be one of the most strategically significant releases in Apple's smart home journey, a moment that could mark a fundamental shift in how entertainment, connectivity, and AI converge under one ecosystem. Over the past decade, Apple has positioned its living room hub as a sleek, minimalist box designed primarily for streaming. But as the world moves rapidly toward intelligent automation and immersive experiences, Apple seems poised to turn Apple TV into something far more powerful, the centerpiece of the connected home. Rumors, insider leaks, and retail inventory patterns have begun to paint a clear picture of what's coming. This is not just a simple speed bump or storage upgrade. Apple is reportedly preparing to unleash an Apple TV that's deeply infused with next-generation silicon, smarter AI processing, enhanced entertainment capabilities, and a software layer designed to make your living room an intelligent extension of your digital life. What was once just a box might soon become the control center for everything Apple. For weeks, the rumor mill has been buzzing with reports from analysts and reliable sources pointing to a major hardware event centered around Apple's M5 chip architecture. Traditionally, Apple reserves its fall product launches for iPads, Macs, or accessories. But this year, signs suggest the company is stacking multiple product unveilings within a single wave, with Apple TV sitting right at the heart of it. Inventory levels for the current Apple TV 4K 2022 model have quietly begun to drop at Apple retail stores and third-party partners worldwide, echoing a pattern Apple has followed countless times before a big release. It happened before the arrival of the M2 Mac Mini, the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and the M3 MacBook Pro lineup. And now history seems to be repeating itself. The stars are aligning for a new device that not only enhances media playback, but also reimagines the role of the Apple TV inside the home. The most significant rumor swirling around the new Apple TV is the possibility of a massive chip upgrade. According to multiple reports, Apple plans to power the 2025 model with either the Apple M5 chip or the Apple A19 Pro. Either way, this would be a dramatic leap from the A15 Bionic chip currently inside the 2022 model. A jump to M5 would bring Apple TV into an entirely new performance class, capable of handling not just 4K HDR streaming at 120 Hz, but also real-time AI processing, complex gaming tasks, and even lightweight spatial computing experiences in sync with Apple Vision Pro. Imagine a living room where your streaming box isn't just playing content, but actively optimizing it, enhancing audio and video quality in real time, and even responding to contextual cues from other Apple devices around your home. The integration of Apple Intelligence, Apple's new generative AI layer, could make this more than a streaming experience. It could make it feel alive. One of the most intriguing possibilities tied to this release is the integration of Siri 2.0 powered by Apple Intelligence. The Apple TV could finally become a fully contextual voice assistant hub, not just responding to direct commands, but understanding presence, profiles, and preferences. Picture this. You walk into your living room, and your Apple TV automatically recognizes your AirTag or iPhone proximity. The lighting shifts to your preferred brightness, the sound adjusts to the right volume, and Siri quietly asks if you want to continue watching the show you paused earlier. If your partner walks in, it switches to a shared profile, recommending different content. If the kids are around, parental controls kick in automatically. This is the kind of intelligence Apple has been steadily building toward for years, and now it may finally manifest through the next Apple TV. Performance-wise, the A19 Pro or M5 chip would enable next-level streaming quality and fluidity. The jump from 60 Hz to 120 Hz playback would make fast-motion sports, gaming, and action content buttery smooth. Pair that with HDR10+, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos support, and the Apple TV 4K 2025 could redefine home theater standards. But Apple isn't stopping at passive viewing. If the rumored support for spatial computing integration pans out, your Apple TV might work in tandem with Vision Pro, projecting immersive layers of information into your space. Imagine watching a Formula One race while floating telemetry data hovers beside the cars in your living room, or watching a live concert with spatial audio that adjusts dynamically as you move. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's the future Apple is clearly building toward. Gaming, often a secondary use case for Apple TV, could also get a massive push. Apple Arcade has steadily grown into a more substantial platform, and a next-generation chip could transform Apple TV into a legitimate mini-gaming console. With up to 512 GB of storage rumored, better controller support, and ultra-low latency streaming, Apple could challenge traditional console experiences, especially if it integrates with cloud and local multiplayer experiences through Apple One. This is a subtle but important shift. Apple doesn't need to beat consoles like Sony PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X to win. It only needs to become the most seamless and integrated casual to mid-core gaming platform inside the Apple ecosystem, something no other company can match at its scale. On the hardware design front, insiders are whispering about a slimmer chassis, improved thermal management inspired by the redesigned M5 Mac Mini, and possibly even a magnetic connector system for easier cable organization and mounting flexibility. Apple has a long history of turning practical details into premium experiences, and this could be no different. A thinner Apple TV box with whisper-quiet passive cooling, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6E, and UWB ultra-wideband support would make it a silent powerhouse tucked behind your screen or integrated seamlessly into your home setup. UWB support is particularly exciting because it would open up new location-based interactions with iPhones, HomePods, and AirTags, allowing for hyper-precise device synchronization. But Apple's smart home ambitions don't end with the TV. The rumored launch of HomePod Mini 2 alongside the Apple TV 4K 2025 points to a larger strategy, turning the living room into the neural center of the Apple home ecosystem. The new HomePod Mini is expected to include upgraded sensors, improved directional audio, and tighter integration with Apple Intelligence. Together, these devices could create a mesh of AI-driven ambient intelligence. For example, your HomePod could detect that you've started cooking in the kitchen and automatically pause playback. On the TV, it could lower the volume when your Apple Watch detects you're on a call or adjust the room. Lighting when a movie starts. Apple doesn't just want devices to work together, it wants them to anticipate your needs. This deep integration is further fueled by the upcoming tvOS 26. Multiple leaks suggest that Apple is working on the most significant UI overhaul in Apple TV history. Instead of a static grid of app icons, users may see a dynamically personalized home screen that adapts to context, time of day, and user behavior. If you usually watch news in the morning, the Apple TV could greet you with live headlines and suggested shows. If you prefer games in the evening, arcade tiles could take center stage. Multi-user support will reportedly be more seamless, relying on proximity detection and facial or device recognition to switch profiles instantly. And Apple's new spatial share feature could allow HomePods and Apple TVs to create a unified audio field, turning your living room into a cinema-grade soundstage. Of course, this entire strategy would also strengthen Apple's competitive edge against other smart home ecosystems. Google is betting on its Gemini AI for Google Nest. Amazon is doubling down on Alexa's generative AI refresh. Samsung is pushing SmartThings and Galaxy AI integration deeper into the home. But Apple's unique advantage is its total control over hardware, software, and services. With Apple Intelligence, Apple TV, HomePod, AirTag, Vision Pro, and iPhone all speaking the same language, Apple can deliver a more private, fluid, and reliable experience than any of its rivals. Where others rely on cloud infrastructure and third-party dependencies, Apple can process intelligence locally, preserving privacy while improving speed and contextual awareness. Timing also plays a crucial role in Apple's strategy. Based on multiple reports, Apple is expected to unveil the new Apple TV 4K and HomePod Mini 2 shortly after announcing its M5 iPad Pro and MacBook Pro. AirTag 2 may follow in mid-November. This sequencing is deliberate. Apple wants its core computing products to showcase M5 performance first, then use Apple TV as the bridge that brings this performance into the living room. The pre-holiday launch window gives Apple a clear runway to dominate premium smart home sales during the most lucrative shopping season of the year. For everyday users, the impact could be profound. If you're already invested in Apple's ecosystem, using iPhones, Apple Music, iCloud, HomeKit, or Vision Pro, the new Apple TV could tie everything together more seamlessly than ever. It could make your home feel aware, reactive, and personalized in subtle, delightful ways. Even small upgrades like better sound handoff between devices, faster response times from Siri, or AI-powered recommendations can make a surprisingly big difference in daily use. And because much of this intelligence will be processed locally, your data stays secure, maintaining the privacy advantage Apple has built its reputation on.